All right, thank you. Kulumka, everyone, and happy Indigenous Peoples Day. On this significant day, I would like to remember and express gratitude to our ancestors and elders who fought for protecting our rights and existence as Indigenous, who also educate and nurture us Indigenous youth with rich knowledge, gratitude, and humility to survive in any crisis. Indigenous youth are the power hub and the key agent of all changes, including climate change mitigation. The world already knows that Indigenous peoples protect 80% of the world's biodiversity and contribute the most in protecting the environment and nature. However, we are always at the forefront to suffer all the effects that are impacting in our lives and traditional livelihoods due to the climate and man-made crisis. Well, Indigenous youths across the world are playing a very significant role, not only in Indigenous peoples' movement for establishing our Indigenous people's self-determination, but also in combating climate change, the most alarming crisis of today. There are multiple ways that Indigenous youth can contribute to climate change mitigation. Being an Indigenous youth, I strongly feel the importance to return back to our roots as the first step to find sustainable solutions to make this planet livable. And when I say back to roots, I mean to get back to the roots with the skills that we learn in this technological era, not to ruin, but to complement and revitalize our rich traditional knowledge and diverse culture. In order to contribute to climate change mitigation, Indigenous youths firstly need to unite ourselves and come forward to reclaim and ensure self-determination rights so that the community can freely protect and nurture the land, forest, and all the natural resources in our own traditional ways without any interference by the governments or state. Intergenerational knowledge transfer should be the core agenda, while Indigenous youth initiate to heal the nature as our ancestors used to do. Indigenous schooling is the best process to learn from the elders, how our elders used to take care of our land, forest, nature, culture, and so on. This endeavor, technology, gifts of science, and modern skills can add more value, especially to document, protect, and promote Indigenous knowledge and share with others the knowledge, the Indigenous elders' knowledge that they used to nurture our nature in the best possible ways. To mitigate climate change and protect our future, awareness raising among the young Indigenous peoples and also beyond the young Indigenous peoples to other youths, the whole world community is very crucial. As we, the Indigenous youth, are the present and future of our community, and also the other youths, also the present and the future of the whole world. There are many young Indigenous peoples who had to migrate to the cities far away from the roots due to both push and pull factors of migration. They are not aware and concerned about their culture and the knowledge well. We need to bring them back to the community and shape their mindset with more progressive and positive thinking and help them bring necessary behavioral changes to mitigate climate change. Because these behavioral changes we used to have in our childhood, our elders used to have that. Our elders used to nurture this nature because our mother nature, they nurture us. So we need to return back to contribute back to the nature. And it's not only to contribute in the nature or protect the nature, we are actually protecting our both present and future. So Indigenous youths, we actually need to learn how to strategize to make the world understand and listen to our voices. We must take part in the policy and decision-making level that determine both our present and future. We are the one who have both modern skills of today and the traditional knowledge from our elders and ancestors who were the survival of the fittest. So I'd like to conclude with the message to all governments and the world decision makers that the world cannot find any solutions to the climate crisis without the indigenous people's knowledge and our meaningful engagement in all the processes. The world community and all decision makers of all states must acknowledge the fact that the world is beautiful, it is diverse because indigenous peoples still exist. Nature is protected because our indigenous knowledge is still alive. So it's time for the world to trust us, the indigenous youths, and our actions. It is time for them to acknowledge and recognize our indigenous people's rights, our knowledge, and above everything, our self-governance system. Thank you, Pawanka Fund, for this opportunity.